out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here for the championship week preview. I know it's been a little minute since I've been live. Our last one live Sunday. It is now Thursday, going on to Friday in 5-6 minutes. But yeah, I'm here to give y'all preview. As you can see on the thumbnail, we got 2 games Friday. We got 8 games Saturday. So we got an action-packed Saturday, just like we like. Got a little appetizers on Friday. But before I do that, I would like to ask that y'all leave a like, comment, and subscribe and share. It helps the network grow even more. Not only helps this show, it helps the main show we have featuring Joe Tom on Dave, which went live earlier. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy, FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only. We got the Joe Jordan Show. We got Dave's Doghouse. And we have In the Red Corner, whose second episode went live Sunday. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Like I said, it helps those shows as well as mine. And if you like what you're listening to, go down the rabbit hole and stick with us. Now, since the last time I went live, we haven't talked about these polls. So we have to talk about these polls. And these polls have been shook up due to some losses. So since Michigan beat Ohio State is now out the top 5. Michigan is now number 2. Georgia remains on top at number 1. Washington now moves up to 3. Florida State moves back up to 4. Oregon is right outside at 5. Ohio State is at 6. Texas remains at 7. Bama remains at 8. Mizzou remains at 9. Penn State moves up to 10. Ole Miss moves up to 11. Oklahoma moves up to 12, which Oklahoma, unfortunately, will not be a part of the Big 12 championship game. They're ahead of Oklahoma State by 6 spots, but will not be in the Big 12 championship game. LSU is now 13. Louisville drops from 14 after losing to Kentucky in their little rivalry game, their in-state rivalry game they have at the end of every season. Arizona stays at 15 after dominating Arizona State. Iowa moves up to 16. Notre Dame moves up to 17, finishing at 9-3. Oklahoma State 9-3 moves up to 18. North Carolina State with a surprising 9-3 record is at 19. Oregon State finishes at 20 with 8-4. Tennessee at 21, also 8-4. Tulane moves up to 22 in the AAC championship game. Clemson at 23. Liberty, the Flames of Liberty at 24. And at 25, moving down 6 spaces is Kansas State coming off that L to Iowa State. So that's your poll talk for this week. Now, do I have any quarrels? Again, Tennessee 8-4, being ranked. I think that's just a product of being in the SEC. I'm cool with Liberty being moved up 1. Happy to see Liberty even being ranked. Sucks that Oklahoma's not in the Big 12 championship game, but their 2 losses happen to be Big 12 games. Oklahoma State just happened to have 1 more loss, but it was a non-conference loss. It was to South Alabama, Sun Belt team, but that doesn't count towards your conference record. Conference record the same as Oklahoma. Oklahoma State owns the tiebreaker, so that's that. I might have would have liked to see Arizona. Nah, Arizona's cool because I think LSU played a tougher schedule. No, I really don't have too much to fight about here in this top 25. I feel like it's pretty fair, pretty decent. Can't be too mad at anything. So I like the top 25. So that's it on that. Now let's get into these previews real quickly. It's late. I'm trying to go to sleep. I want to sleep, wake up so I can get to these into these conference championship games. So first game we have at hand, we have the Conference USA Championship game. That features New Mexico State at Liberty. Liberty being 10.5-point favorites. Now for first of all, before I do that, if you're new to my previews, I give 5 keys on each team. So 5 keys for New Mexico State, 5 keys for Liberty. Then I pick a winner and give a brief reason why I picked said winner. Now for New Mexico State, a heavy dose of Diego Pavetta. This is what's been the backbone of this New Mexico State team, offense, whatever you want to say. Has been running Diego Pavetta. He sets up others in the run game. His run sets up the pass. He's the major focal point of this New Mexico State offense. Have to contain Caden Salter, another focal point of Liberty's offense, quarterback that can also runs the option with Quentin Cooley and sometimes even Aaron Bedgood in the backfield or Billy Lucas. Have to find a way to contain him. Have to sustain long scoring drives. I think they have to play keep away football here. I think they have to sustain like 7, 6, sometimes even 8-minute drives. They got to get points. They can't just sustain those drives and get nothing. They have to sustain those to get touchdowns. Field goals honestly won't cut it either. Have to sustain 7-minute touchdown drives, 8-minute touchdown drives. Maybe here and there you can hit a 3-4 minute one, get a little quick strike here and there. But for the most part, you gotta hold on to that rock and score touch. Pavetta has to take care of the football. No interceptions, no fumbles. And also, when you're setting up your pass, got to get the ball to Jonathan Brady and Trent Hudson, your 2 wide receivers there for New Mexico State. Now for Liberty, Caden Salter has to be dynamic. Again, running that option, just running that period. If nothing's there, take what the defense give you, scrambling, stuff like that. You have to contain Diego Pavetta, again, major backbone of this New Mexico State offense. So if you can contain him, New Mexico State offense looks to be in shambles, in my opinion. They got to feed Quentin Cooley and Billy Lucas through the ground. They got to force turnovers. They got to ruin New Mexico State's momentum, whatever momentum they do have. And they got to get the ball to C.J. Daniels and Trayon Sibley, the 2 wideouts for Liberty. Now, C.J. Daniels and Trayon Sibley can make some tough catches. I have actually seen Trayon Sibley drop some passes as well. I think C.J. Daniels is the better of the 2, but you got to get them the ball no matter what. And with that being said, I'm going to take Liberty to win the game. Liberty 12-0. Shout out Jamie Chadwell, who's dominant in the Sun Belt and ran through Conference USA. Perfect record throughout Conference USA. Perfect record on the season. I like Liberty to be a 13-0 Conference USA champion. Get a really good bowl game. I really like the Liberty's offense. Liberty defense can at times leave something to be desired. They do have a nice little cornerback in Singleton. I believe that's his last name, Singleton or Singletary. I think it's Kobe Singleton, to be honest. I do think New Mexico State defense can get got. It showed earlier that a running quarterback, I know this is that was week 0. This is now championship week, but it still burns in the back of my mind of Tyshawn Pumachan absolutely destroying this New Mexico State defense, getting whatever he wanted through the ground and through the air. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm saying that it just burns my mind. I do see Caden Salter being able to do a lot through the ground and through the air. So I'm going to take Liberty to win the game. I'm going to take Liberty to be 13-0. Conference USA champs, excuse me. Now, I'm trying to find this dude name. I want to say it is Kobe Singleton, though. The DB that I really do like. Yep, Kobe Singleton, number 3. Yep, boom. Next, we have the Pac-12 championship. I'm going to switch tickers. We have Oregon, 9.5-point favorites. Now, Oregon, I believe, were 3-point favorites when they played at Oregon. Now at a neutral site, they're 9.5-point favorites in the Pac-12 championship, going against undefeated Washington. Neutral site, I believe, is in Vegas. I believe Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Allegiant Stadium, in Vegas. Now I'm trying to see what the point spread was when they first played. I know Washington ended up winning that game at home. So it was at home. It wasn't at Oregon. It was at home. My apologies. Washington was 3.5-point favorite. So technically, the neutral site and how Oregon's been playing has swung the line 12 whole points. So let's get into it. For Oregon, 5th ranked Oregon at 3rd ranked Washington. Oh, you can catch this game Friday, 8 o'clock on ABC. And the Conference USA Championship game, you can catch that Friday, 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Now, for Oregon, Bo Nix has to be stellar. He has to continue to play amazing, immaculate. He has, 36 touchdowns to 2 picks. I think it's even more now, actually. I think that was last week's numbers. I think Bo Nix is currently at 37 touchdowns and 2 picks. And that's just 37 on the ground, through the air. They have to get the ball to Troy Franklin and Ted Johnson, the 2 dog receivers. They have to feed Bucky Irvin. So I know Oregon can't get pass happy, but they can't get away from the run, which they don't typically do. I think Bucky Irvin has over 1,000 yards. He has 1,043 yards and 10 touchdowns. So they still continue to feed him the ball on the ground. They got to force Michael Penix to turn the ball over. Now, Washington offense hasn't been looking stellar lately. Looked pretty – I think they got shut out. No, they didn't get shut out in the second half against Oregon State. But it didn't look good against – no, I think they did get shut out in the second half against Oregon State. Just Oregon State didn't have enough to come back. Didn't look great against Washington State in the Apple Cup. I thought that might be a blowout. It was close. Washington was able to pull it out, I think even due to a late penalty, and that was questionable. Meanwhile, Oregon, since the loss, it's been skyrocketed. The trajectory for Oregon has been through the roof. Even Bo Nix now is a Heisman favorite. We can talk about that later because that's next week. We can have a show about that. But they got to force Michael Penix to turn the ball over, and they have to stop these receivers. I know I say it every time somebody plays Washington because that is true. They have 3 NFL wide receivers in Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan, and Roma Dunzier. Roma Dunzier is now in the running for the Bolitnikov with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. So, man, just elite company there. So, have to find ways to stop these receivers. Now, if you're Washington, you got to find ways to get the Bo Nix. You got to rattle them. You got to get them on the ground. You got to, and now my next point leads into my next point. Got to force a Bo Nix interception. He only has 2 in a year. Got to get to him. You got to make him throw a pick. Maybe that might change how he plays. He hasn't gone through the adversity of throwing an interception in weeks. Maybe you force the pick. It rattles him. It changes his mindset. He's like, now I got to bounce back from this. I got it. Now he's maybe start forcing stuff. Who knows? You force the pick and find out. Get the ball to these NFL wideouts. Like I said, man, they got NFL wideouts, so you got to get them the rock. But you still can't forget about the run game. You got to establish Dylan Johnson, who's having a great year of his own. 961 yards and 12 touchdowns for the running back in this pass-happy offense. And you have to keep Oregon out of 4th and shorts because if you keep Oregon in 4th and shorts, they're going to get aggressive. Dan Lanning, Bo Nix, they trust each other. They trust this offense. They're going to go for it a lot of times. And more times than not, they're going to get them. Now, I know it screwed them over in the first game that they played this year, but I don't see that happening too much this time, especially the way Oregon's offense has been playing so well since that. So you got to keep them out of them situations. Make them in at least 4th and 5, 4th and 6. Make them in situations where they like, all right, you know what, we got to punt it. Or, all right, you know what, we got to kick the field goal. You know what I'm saying? Can't keep them in situations where they feel confident enough to go for it. Now, with that being said, as much as I want to take Washington, and I will be taking the points with Washington, by the way, I have to go with Oregon here. Oregon has been playing phenomenal. Oregon has been playing some of the best football in college football since the loss to Washington. I have to pick Oregon to beat Washington in this Pac-12 championship. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Washington back in the playoffs, but I just can't see it. I can't pick against Bo Nix and this Oregon team right now. They've been on fire. They got revenge on their minds. They feel like they should have beat Washington at Washington the first time. So I'm going to take Oregon in this game. Next, we have the Big 12 championship, and I don't think this game is going to be like the one I just Jesus. There we go. Probably won't touch this game. Oh my God, my freaking ticker. There we go. Probably won't touch this game as a gambler. But we have 18th ranked Oklahoma State at 7th ranked Texas. Saturday, noon on ABC. Now, for Oklahoma State, they got to find a way to establish Ollie Gordon. I mean, to be honest, this team has been Ollie Gordon or bust. Now, Texas has really good run defense, so they have to find ways against this Texas team to run Ollie Gordon. Allen Bowman has to stop throwing interceptions. He's been interception happy these last couple of weeks. It's to the point where his touchdown to interception ratio is now 10 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. That is not good. You will not win games, which they have because they have Ollie Gordon, but you won't win games against better competition when that happens. They lost to UCF in blowout fashion. Can't have it, Allen Bowman. And I'm gonna look at the game log for a second. Allen Bowman against BYU in a win, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That game goes into double overtime, even though Ollie Gordon has 5 touchdowns. Houston, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. They went by 13. UCF, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So we're at 6 picks in the last 3 weeks. Win 2, 1 goes into overtime against a team that shouldn't win in the double overtime. Get blown out by UCF, which you should have won that game, shouldn't even been close. And you'd be Houston by 2 touchdowns when you throw the elites out of the 3 weeks. So has to stop throwing interceptions. 6 picks in 3 weeks is unacceptable. Have to get to Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is a big part of this Texas offense. Obviously, at quarterback, he makes a lot of good throws. You have to heat him up. You can't let him get a rhythm. Can't let him get comfortable, or he would dice you up. Get the ball to Brennan Presley, who I believe is their best receiver on the team. And you have to stay ahead of the chains, because if you get behind the chains, that takes away Ollie Gordon in the run game. Maybe you can try to swing it to him in some screen plays, some swing plays at running back to get him the ball in open space. But you rather stay at 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 1s, maybe even 3rd and 3s. So that way you have your whole playbook available instead of 36, 37 when they know a pass is coming. And now you're stuck. Allen Bowman trying to get you out of jams, and he might be throwing you picks. Now for Texas, their run defense will be huge, led by Jalen Ford. I know I said, and Sweat. Can't forget about big 93 there, Sweat. Have to establish C.J. Baxter, who's stepping in for the injured Jonathan Brooks, who's been actually doing a really good job subbing in for Jonathan Brooks. You got to win the turnover battle. That comes with forcing Allen Bowman picks by keeping Oklahoma State behind the chains. Get the ball to Xavier Worthy and Jordan Whittington, who are the two top, I won't say 2 best, but 2 top guys at the receiver position. Not statistically, but Xavier Worthy or Burner, who sometimes have drop problems, and Jordan Whittington, who's been playing well lately. So got to get them the ball, and you got to keep Oklahoma State behind the chains. So Oklahoma State wants to stay ahead of the chains. You want to keep them behind the chains, force Allen Bowman to throw more, and now you get turnovers. So that being said, though, I'm going to take Texas in this one. I don't think it'll be particularly close, just because, like I said, Oklahoma State is Ollie Gordon or bust. And I think Texas will do a really good job containing Ollie Gordon. I don't think Allen Bowman will be good enough to win them this game. So give me Texas in this one. Now, we move on to the MAC championship. We have Miami of Ohio at Toledo at full field. Toledo is favored by 7.5 points. Now, and you can catch that one Saturday noon on ESPN. Now for Miami of Ohio, Avion Smith has to be dynamic. He has to use his legs he has to use his legs. He has to use his arm. He got to be accurate, things of that like that. But they're still gonna have to give you a heavy dose, and I mean a heavy dose. I mean like an Oklahoma State dose of Rashad Amos. You gotta run Rashad Amos. You gotta wear down that Toledo defense with Rashad Amos. Avoid Quinyon Mitchell, who my preseason Jim Thorpe Award finalist, not winner, but finalist. Gotta avoid him. I believe he has 2 picks in the last 3 weeks or something like that. For Quinyon Mitchell, I know he's been balling. Why is that on top 25? He has been balling for that Toledo defense. I'm going to look right quick to make sure. Hold on. Oh, actually, Maxon Hook leads the team in picks with 3. He's also been balling. Maxon Hook is such a good player at safety. He's for sure been balling. I really like Maxon Hook there. I like Toledo's defense. Quinyon Mitchell has 1 pick on the year, so scratch that. I thought I seen him have 2 picks in 1 year, in 2 weeks or something like that, but no. He caught his interception. Why is it not showing when he caught his pick? I tried to game log the interception. It's not showing it. But he has a pick on the year. But still, yeah, still a dog at DB. Have to stop Penny Boom. Penny Boom's an amazing force at running back. I think he's 15 tuds. Yep, 15 tuds, 1,400 yards, 1,359. Well, he's going to break 1,400 in this game. With 15 tuds. And for Toledo, they got it. Oh, my bad. One last point. They have to contain Daquan Finn. I skipped over that one by accident. They have to contain Daquan Finn because Daquan Finn can for sure use his legs and his arm. Now, for Toledo, Daquan Finn will be huge. He only has, more than I thought. He has 8 interceptions on the year with 21 tuds, but that's just through the ground. He can also use his legs as well. He can be effective with his legs. He can scramble out, extend plays, things like that. So you got to find a ways to for Toledo. He's going to be huge. Have to score in the second half. Now, I put that point here because game 1 against Miami of Ohio, they got shut out in the second half. Miami of Ohio had a chance to come back and win that game, even with Brett Gabbert going out with the injury. Miami of Ohio scored 17 straight or 17 unanswered, however you want to look at it. They could not get over the hump to win that game, but they put themselves in great position to come back and take that game away from Toledo. Penny Boom, have to establish him. I already read off his stats. They got to get the Avion Smith, which Toledo has 34 sacks on the year, which is pretty darn good. And they got to get the ball to Jawan Newton, who has 9 touchdowns on the year at receiver for this Toledo offense. Now, with that being said, I will take Toledo to go 12-1 and undefeated through the MAC, win every game since losing to Illinois to hoist up that MAC championship. And hopefully, you know what? Toledo should be ranked, by the way. But to hoist up a beautiful MAC championship game and a pretty good bowl game. Great season Toledo's having so far. I'm going to take them to win. I love Daquan Finn. I love his explosiveness. I love the dynamics. Like I said, I already told y'all, I love this Toledo defense. Now of late, been getting a little hectic. Bowling Green put up a lot of points. Yep, 32. But then held Central to 17. Eastern Michigan had 23 off a bunch of garbage. They was up 49-20. They won 49-23. Buffalo to 13. And then we had the Miami of Ohio 21-17. I really like this Toledo defense. Maxon Hood, Quinyon Mitchell, with Dallas Gant, I believe. So I'm gonna take Toledo to win this game. Yeah, Dallas Gant, that linebacker. I'm gonna take Toledo to win this game. Moving on, we have the Mountain West Championship, and I got obviously I was gonna get one of the 2 teams I wanted because it was only 3 to choose from. And honestly, like I said, I didn't care for it as long as UNLV was in it, and UNLV is in it. We have Boise State favored by 2.5 points at UNLV, and the championship game is actually at Allegiant Stadium again. So they got the Pac-12 championship game at Allegiant Stadium. Then we got the Mountain West championship game at Allegiant Stadium. I'm gonna just look for laughs if the Raiders playing at home this week. If they even playing at all, I don't even know if they're playing at all. Looks like the Raiders are not playing this week. So that would have been funny though if the Raiders had a home game like right after that. I don't know how safe that would have been. Probably a bit dangerous in my opinion, but I thought it'd be kind of funny. Turn the page real quick. You can catch that game Saturday, 3:00 on Fox. So for Boise State, obviously established as the Genty, the best running back in my opinion in the Mountain West. Taylor Green has to take care of the football. I believe he has 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year. Someone has to step up in place of Eric McAllister. I know he said he's officially entered the transfer portal, so that leads me to believe he cannot play in this game. Now, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but for it to say he officially entered leads me to believe that he cannot play this Saturday. Have to stop Ricky White. Ricky White, Spartan, former Spartan, so that's why I want a UNLV in it. Just a dog at receiver. And have to make it a low-scoring affair because I think if you don't, UNLV will win this game in a shootout. Now, I just don't trust Taylor Green in the shootout. That's all. UNLV, obviously, you have to stop their best playmaker in Ashton Jendi. Jaden Mavea has to use his legs. I really do feel like he's more effective when he runs. Have to get the ball to Ricky White. Self-explanatory. I feel like if I say Boise State have to keep it a low-scoring game, I think UNLV needs to run it up. run it up. I mean, quickly too, like 3-minute drives, 4-minute drives, touchdown. They get the ball and they going down fast. I think they need to run it up like that, and they have to win the turnover battle because I believe Jada McVay will not turn the ball over first. I think Taylor Green will blink first for Boise State. And with that being said, I'm gonna take UNLV in this one. I think I like UNLV. This is really a home game for UNLV, playing at Allegiant Stadium from Vegas. So I'm gonna take UNLV in this one. Ricky White, Jada McVay. I don't think they contain Ashton Genty, but I don't think that Genty beats UNLV. I think Genty's just gonna have a really good game because Ashton Genty. I just don't think it's good enough to win solo. So I'm gonna take UNLV to win this game. Moving on to the SEC championship game, which my winner, it's probably a spoiler about me saying this, but the winner of this game, it's not rhyme, reason, or nothing. I'll get into that when it's time. But for the SEC championship game, we have, I probably wrote this wrong. There's no way Bama's the home team. But we got 8th ranked Alabama and number 1 ranked Georgia. Notice I didn't say at. Okay, hold on. I think Alabama is technically the home team, which makes no sense. But they did do that with Michigan and Iowa too, which also doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to go on FanDuel because FanDuel has that. Oh, well, I guess Alabama's the home team. Guess technically Bama's the home team. So I'll just say it like this, and if I'm wrong, hey, blame ESPN and FanDuel because I was confused too. We have number 1 ranked Georgia at 8th ranked Alabama Saturday, 4 o'clock on CBS. Our last SEC on CBS. No more dun. Well, I don't know if they're keeping that for CBS on Big Ten. I doubt it, but man, end of an era. And what an era it was. Just hearing that noise Saturdays, you locked in for a good one. But moving on from Memory Lane, for Georgia, Carson Beck has to be great. Now, when I say that, I mean he's been playing great, but he has to play another notch. This is the SEC championship game. This is Alabama. Winner winner moves on to the playoffs. He got to find a way to turn it up a notch. Establish Dewan Edwards, the running back, which will help Carson Beck turn it up a notch. Get the ball to Brock Bowers any way possible. Y'all know how they do Brock Bowers, tight end screens, tight end reverses, down the seams, slant routes, posts, bang eights or skinny posts, whatever you want to call it. Putting them out wide out. Got to give him the ball any way possible. But while you're doing that, you still can't forget about Ladd McConkey. I think Robert Thomas is out for the year, if I'm not mistaken. Or Marcus Rosemary, Jack Saint, excuse me. Dominic Levitt. Got to get the ball to those guys. And you got to contain Jalen Milroe, who will definitely beat you with his legs. Now for Alabama. Have to forget about that Iron Bowl win. Now, the reason why I say that is because they should have lost that game. Got to get over it. You got to hey, look, it happened. You rather have the hiccup there and come out victorious than have the hiccup this Saturday and lose. So you got to get over it. It's Georgia this week, championship weekend. It's over with. Jalen Milroe has to use his legs. He's so dangerous when he uses his legs. It's like, I think I talked about this Sunday. When he first started, he would use his legs to extend plays. He wouldn't really look to take off. Now he's looking to take off, and I love it. Like, I understand extending plays to look downfield, but if nothing's there and you got a first or 5-6 yards, just take it. Just take it. Don't try to extend the play and nothing's there. You extend, nothing there. Now you're throwing the ball away or you're running out of bounds 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Just take what the defense gets you. Have to get Jason McClellan going, the running back for Alabama. Have to get to Carson Beck, which they have 36 sacks on this Alabama defense. I'm pretty sure if I look, Dallas Turner is leading the charge there. And you got to get the ball to Jermaine Burton and Isaiah Bond, your 2 best receivers and your 2 deep threats. Amari Black is a good tight end as well, but it's not on the they don't have to. Well, they do need to give him the ball, so I'm going to stop right there. But I just feel like Jermaine Burton and Isaiah Bond are more important in this scenario. You got to get them to rock. Now, for my pick. I'm only picking this because I picked them to win the Natty to start the year, and I picked them to win this championship game with Georgia being undefeated in this scenario. I think I also had Bama being undefeated in this scenario because I had them being Texas. I think I had a battle of the 2 12-0 teams, and I had Bama winning this to go on to the playoffs and winning it all. So Bama can't be in the playoffs if they lose. So I'm picking Alabama strictly because of my preseason prediction. If I am wrong, you can kill me. I will not be mad. I picked it preseason, so I'm sticking with it. We're here. We have the scenario, not the perfect scenario, because Bama does have that one loss to Texas, but we have the scenario nonetheless. And I'm going to stick with my prediction here. I'm going to take Bama again. Kill me if you want. It's all good. And Dallas Turner is leading the charge with Chris Braswell, both tied with 8 sacks. So, boom. Moving on. We have the AAC, or the American Athletic Championship game. And that's SMU at Tulane. Tulane being favored by 3.5. And you can catch this game Saturday, 4 o'clock on ABC. Now, for SMU, Preston Stone has to be lights out. He's been playing very well for the SMU Mustangs, but he has to be a notch better because Tulane is not coming to play. Tulane is a really great group of 5 school. I almost said Power 5. Group of 5 school. They play like a Power 5 school. They have this AAC championship experience with Michael Pratt. You're going to have to bring your A game, Preston Stone. Have to establish LJ Johnson and Jalen Knight in the 2 running backs for SMU. I have to get to Michael Pratt, the I hate saying veteran, but for lack of a better term, veteran guy for Tulane. Have to get stops. Now, I say this because stops don't come aplenty for SMU. They come a dime a dozen. I mean, not a dime a dozen. They come very rarely. If you look at SMU games when they play likely competition or competition right above their level, it's normally shootouts. Can't have that against Tulane. Tulane will get stops. You have to get stops with Tulane. And which receiver steps up for the Mustangs? I think this is always like a weekly question. I know RJ Maryland, the tight end, is always a good choice, but I think a wideout's gonna have to step up this game. Now for Tulane, Michael Pratt, veteran. Oh my Lord, veteran leadership is huge for the Tulane Green Wave. Again, he has this championship game experience. He's been here before. He knows how to win this. He's beaten USC in the Cotton Bowl. He has the big game experience. Have to establish Mekhi Hughes, the great running back for Tulane, best running back in the AAC, in my opinion. Will Jaquan Jackson or Lawrence Keys III be back? We don't know. They did not play last week. Don't know if they'll be there Saturday. But if they're not there, Chris Brazell have to give him the ball. He will be huge. And not only will he be huge, in my opinion, he's going to be huge in one-on-one situations. Let's just say Pratt surveys, has nothing there. Brazell one-on-one, I trust that matchup with my receiver. He makes spectacular catches. He will go up and get it. So I will trust Chris Brazell there. Now, my last point is with 15 interceptions on the year, they have to force a turnover. And with that being said, I am taking 22nd ranked Tulane to beat SMU to become 12-1 AAC champs. Probably win the best group of 5. Be ranked highest group of 5 team of the country, and win the Power 5, New Year's 6 Bowl for the best group of 5 school in the country for the second year in a row. Just shout out to Willie France and the great job he's been doing at Tulane. Let's see here. Tomo, what up, Tomo? Checking it on Facebook. That's hilarious. CTC best college show on the net. Hashtag Terp Life. I appreciate it. I don't know why I rated that. It wasn't a super chat. I didn't have to read that, but I'm tired, so probably why I read that. Stick with me, Tomo. We got three more championship games to go as I move on to the Sun Belt Championship game, which should feature JMU. So to be honest, whoever wins this game, it's second place in my heart. JMU won the Sun Belt, in my opinion, man. I'm sorry. I had to say it. JMU at 11-1. I get it. JMU lost to App State, but JMU also beat Troy. So I get it, but man, JMU should be in the game. But I think that's over next year. I think even though Kurt Signetti is now going to Indiana, from what I hear, he's now finalized the deal to go to Indiana. I've had my refuse to lose segment where I said I wanted Kirk Signetti to go to Michigan State. Now we ended up signing Jonathan Smith from Oregon State, and there's rumors to believe that we're going to take Dante Moore from UCLA. He's going to transfer in at quarterback, which will be good if we can develop him. But I want a Kirk Cignetti, man. I really like Kirk Cignetti. He wins at every level. One of the FCS, D2, D3, FBS, to the point where he tried to appeal the 2-year bowl ban and can't compete for the championship game. He's been doing really well. But off my tangent, we move on to the Sun Belt Championship game. We have App State at Troy Saturday at 4 on ESPN. Troy is favored by 5.5. For App State, Joey Aguilar will be huge at quarterback. Cannot turn the ball over. Has to be dealing. Has to use his legs at times whenever he can. Secondly, they have to find ways to move the ball against this Troy defense. I really like the Troy defense. I've been preaching about it every time I cover them or talk about their game. I really do like the Troy defense. It's the backbone of this Troy team. Will Nate Noel come back this week from injury? Did not play last week. Did not matter for App State as they blew out Georgia Southern. But will he be back? Get the ball to Caden Robinson, their top receiver, with 717 yards and 10 touchdowns on the year for Caden Robinson. And they have to stop Kamani Vidal, the best running back in the Sun Belt. Some might say Marcus Carroll. Some might say Tyson Lawton or Caden Black. I think I said his name wrong. I'm going Kamani Vidal either way anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Marcus Carroll to me is a close second, but I'm taking Kamani Vidal. Now for Troy, establish Kamani Vidal. Obviously, you got to find ways to get him to rock. Forced turnovers. They have 9 picks on the year. If they can force Joey Aguilar to throw the ball, turn over the rock, that'd be huge for the Troy team, giving them short fields to work with. Gunnar Watson will have to make plays because I feel like App State will try to key in on Kamani Vidal now that leaves 1-on-1, and that moves me to my next point. They have to get Chris Lewis the ball in one-on-one situations. Chris Lewis has been making spectacular catch after spectacular catch after spectacular catch. His spectacular catches almost allowed Troy to come back and beat JMU. Chris Lewis, one-on-one, I trust Chris Lewis more than I don't trust him. He makes plays. And lastly, if Chris Lewis isn't your option, you still have Jabri Barber and Deshaun Stoudemire to throw the ball to for Troy. So with that being said, however, I will take Troy to beat App State. I just really like Troy defense. I don't think App State will be able to move the rock a ton on this Troy defense. I do think Troy will be able to move the rock a bit on this App State defense. App State does have the experience, but so does Troy. Troy won the Sun Belt last year. And Gunnar Watson and Kamani Vidal were both there for that. So give me Troy to win the Sun Belt. And moving on, do I really have to talk about this? Do I really have to talk about second-ranked Michigan at 21st ranked Iowa? Well, I don't even think they're 21st. I think they're like 18th. 16th ranked Iowa, excuse me. And you can catch this game Saturday, 8 o'clock on Fox if you want to. I unfortunately have to for my job, but I'm going to go in the Keys, but really Iowa has no chance. So for Michigan, they have to score more than 21 plus. They score 21 plus, Iowa can't generate offense. So 21 points is enough. 21 points seems like a blowout when going against Iowa. J.J. McCarthy has to continue to make plays. So one thing I forgot to talk about Sunday when I was recapping the game against Ohio State was that J.J. McCarthy was making some throws that was like off platform. They were like really crazy throws. His day wasn't easy where he just dropped back and make easy throws. He had to make a couple plays, and he made those plays. So as a Michigan State fan, I would love to hate, but no hate here. Like, I got to be unbiased on CTC, and he was making some throws. I was like, okay, JJ. They got to obviously establish Blake Corum, who has 22 touchdowns on the year. I mean, pretty obvious there. They got to stop the Iowa rushing attack because that forces Deacon Hill to beat you with his arm, and Deacon Hill is going to throw. Unfortunately, as I know, that Deacon Hill is going to throw interceptions. And they have to keep Iowa offense behind the chains, which again forces Deacon Hill to throw the ball. Now for Iowa, you have to keep the score low, which keeping this Michigan team to 14 even will be a tall task without having your best player, I think, on the team, period, in Cooper DeJean, who was out for the year with a broken foot, which he broke in practice. Have to get to JJ McCarthy, which they only have like 22 sacks, which isn't bad, which isn't great. It's like decent. I say decent and pretty good. 22 sacks on the year. Have to find ways to establish a passing game. I don't know how Kirk and his son is going to draw up a passing game for Iowa that's effective, especially against this number one overall scoring defense. And the Michigan defense has been playing great through the air, but they got to find some way to get the ball moving on through the air. Because if you could do that, that will help you establish Rashawn Williams and Caleb Johnson, who are your running backs for Iowa, and you have to find a way to run the rock with them effectively. And my last point is Deacon Hill has to take care of the football, which I don't really see. So obviously, from me rebuttaling a lot of my keys, y'all know I have Michigan winning this game, unfortunately, to win this third straight Big Ten championship. Sucks, but hey, they got here. They're undefeated. They even fought 6 games of turmoil, 6 games without their head coach, including the big one against Ohio State without their head coach. So it's well-deserved. Michigan wins this game pretty easily, blowout fashion. Iowa might not even score more than 10. So give me Michigan. And we rounded off with our last championship game, the ACC championship game. We have Louisville at Florida State. Florida State being favored by 2.5 points. Just imagine the minus as the ticket coming across. But yeah, now as we already know, 4th-ranked Florida State does not have Jordan Travis. He is out for the year. Got hurt in that Northern Alabama game. Again, prayers up. Unfortunate events happened there. But for 14th-ranked Louisville, you can catch this game, Saturday, 8 o'clock on ABC. Now, for 14th-ranked Louisville, Jack Plummer cannot throw his famous interceptions. Y'all know me, bruh. I say it. Jack Plummer's going to throw you a pick. You just got to catch it. Let's see. I didn't look at the game I did look at the game last week, but not in depth because I had other games to cover. Let's see if Jack Plummer threw a pick against Kentucky. Boom. We're going to go to box score. We're going to go to Louisville. And, of course, Jack Plummer threw a pick to Kentucky. Why did I even ask? Let's look at Jack Plummer, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks. So, last 3 weeks, he's thrown a pick in each game. Threw a pick against Virginia. Threw a pick against Miami. Threw a pick against Kentucky. Now, he only lost the Kentucky game. He went 2 weeks straight without throwing a pick now. Didn't throw a pick against Virginia Tech or Duke. He only threw 1 touchdown those 2 weeks, though. And Pitt, 2 picks. Notre Dame, no pick, 1 touchdown. 2 picks against NC State, close W. He's gone 1, 2, 3, 4 games without a pick, 8 games with 1. Jack Plummer is going to throw you a pick. Florida State, you just got to catch it. Have to get Jawar Jordan explosive plays. Got to get the 20-yard runs, the 30-yard touchdowns run, the 45-yard runs. You know, the big explosive plays that Jawar Jordan is accustomed to hitting. You have to stop Keon Coleman because you know my motto when it comes to Florida State, you need to play down forward. He's not going to fail you. Call, always connect. Get the ball to Jamari Thrash and these other receivers, Amari Huggins, Bruce, Kevin Coleman. You got to get the ball to these guys. And finally, for Louisville, you got to heat up Tate Rodemaker or whoever it is at quarterback. I believe it's going to be Tate. I think Tate is good to go for this Saturday. So you got to heat him up, though. Can't let him get comfortable. Can't let him get rhythm throws to get into the game, get a feel for the game. Got to blitz him, got to heat him up, got to make him uncomfortable. Now for Florida State, I said the opposite for Tate. You got to get him some quick in rhythm throws, get him a nice little feel for the game, let him settle in. Maybe even some screen passes to like Trey Benson or Jaheim Bell or you know, Keon on the receiver screen, something just to get him into the game, get him settled down. You got to establish Trey Benson at running back because he's going to help Tate Rodemaker a lot. He's going to alleviate a lot of stress if he gets going. Get the ball to Keon Coleman. On one-on-one situations, throw it up. Keon will go get it. Just go trust your big play guy. No explosive plays from Jawar Jordan because, again, there was no explosive plays against NC State, and they almost lost that game to NC State. NC State honestly should have won that game if I remember correctly. And lastly, Jake Plummer will throw you a pick. You just have to catch it. I already explained it. 8 games he threw a pick in this year out of 12. So he's going to throw you a pick. Got to catch it. Now, It took me a minute to think about this one, but in the end, I'm going to stick with my ACC championship champion from the jump. I'm going to take Florida State to win this ACC championship game. Florida State, while I do think Jordan Travis is a huge part of Florida State, I don't think he's the only part of Florida State. I think they could keep this ship going, not to win it all. I didn't have them winning it all with Jordan Travis. I think I even had them losing in the first round with Jordan Travis. If I could find my notebook while I talk to you guys, which I don't know which one I put that prediction in. I think I put it in this one, actually. Yeah, I didn't have them win it all. I believe I had them losing in the first round. Now, who I had them losing 2 in the first round is none of your business. But I had them losing in the first round, I believe so, in the playoffs. So don't have them winning that much. But I do think Tate Rodemaker can have them beat Louisville in this game to win the ACC, which has probably been a little minute since they won the ACC. But yeah, but that is all I have for y'all tonight. Y'all get some rest and wake up ready to enjoy them late night championship week games. Like I said, we got 2 today. We got 8 on Saturday, and I will be back Sunday to recap it. Oh, hold on. I found it right here. The playoffs, I had Alabama at number 1. Not going to happen. I had them at 13-0. I had SC at 2. Not going to happen. They're nowhere near it. They're not even ranked at 13-0. Florida State at 3, 13-0. That can't happen. Not 3, but 4. Maybe 3 could happen. And I had Ohio State at 4, 12-1, which obviously not going to happen. So I had SC versus Florida State, and I had SC winning. So I had Florida State losing in the first round. If Florida State advances, they're more than likely to play Georgia or Bama. Or, I don't know. We'll see. But Florida State probably will lose in the first round regardless. So, again, Tate Rodemaker could take them to where I had them. I don't see him taking them to the championship game. But if Florida State wins, you have to put them in. I don't want to hear none of the BS about, oh, well, they don't have Jordan Travis. We can't put them in the top 4. They're undefeated, won the ACC. Cry me a river. But again, that's all I have for y'all tonight. Until Sunday, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.